God bless you all. It's your ambassador, your pastor's pastor, the Reverend Dr. Aqeel Ash-Shakoor. Just taking a break from reading some material, some mind-building material. And I encourage you to always invest at least an hour a day, just reading and listening to some inspirational things that are going to build you up. But what I really wanted to just take a break and talk to you about was hiding out from your scars. Yeah, I said hiding out from your scars. I know this personally because, and I like to try to give you experiential things about my life to show you how you don't have to hide out from your scars, and hope that, and I pray that it will help you go to not just the next level, but levels beyond. In 2004, September 11, 2004, I sustained this nasty scar, or nasty scars right here. And I sustained those in a motorcycle accident. And, I remember sitting on the side of the road and waiting for the ambulance. And I remember just praying as my arm was just hanging, and my hand was just dangling from my arm. And I remember praying to God, just saying, God, please don't let me lose my hand. Please don't let me lose my arm, Lord. I don't know what I would do. And God honored that. And the toughest thing was that after the healing process, I had this scar. I had this scar, this long one that goes from here, the back of my wrist, all the way down. Then I had this area here. And I literally had, like, right here, I had where both bones shot out. Right. And, what was crazy about this is that I was ashamed. I was ashamed of the scars, and I began to wear this sports wristband, and I kept wearing the sports wristband, trying to hide it out. Whether I wore a short sleeve or a long sleeve or a dress shirt, I had on that sports band, trying to hide out. And and I was finally asked one day, it's like, can I ask you a question? And the person said, "Are you ashamed of your arm?" And of course, ego kicked in, and I was like, no, I'm not afraid. I'm just ashamed. I'm just wearing it. But inside, I want to tell you, I knew I was lying. I was lying because I was still hurt. Physically I'd healed up, but emotionally I hadn't healed. And then later on, I thought about it. I said, you know what? When you were on the side of that road, the one thing you asked God to honor was to honor your prayer that you wouldn't lose your arm or your hand. And I wanted to tell you that even when I was going through physical therapy, my physical therapist, that team, they were great. But the doctor told me, he said, Aqeel, he said, I want you to know one thing. He said, now you're going to heal, but you can just go ahead and count on that you're not going to have your full capability that you had before. You're not going to have your full range of movement. And, and I said, well, at that time I accepted. I said, okay, doc, I'm just more concerned about not losing my hand or my arm. And so as time went by, he gave me a list of things that I shouldn't do and a list of things that I could do. And I want to tell you, if you know me, I pushed the limits. Sometimes I even went over the limit of what I should have done. But I continue to pray to God just to heal up. And what I want to go back to is the point of that scar, this scar right here. And it finally came to me one day. It finally came to me that, you know what? I wasn't being thankful. I wasn't being thankful because I was being ashamed of the scar. And all the scar was going to now serve as a testimony. The scar was an icebreaker for me to be able to tell people how good God is. And what I'm saying to you is there's somebody out there right now. There are many of you out there right now that are hiding out from your scars. You used to be you used to be a drunk. You're not a drunk anymore. You're living for God. You used to be cracked out, doped out, whatever. I don't care what the drug is, but that's not you anymore. It's not you anymore. Stop hiding out from the scars of your life. Okay? Don't be ashamed of how God has delivered you. Don't let people hold you. Don't let people hold you down trying to point out your scar. And, one of the things about living with scars is that, people always want to come up and ask you how you sustain the scar. They always want to talk about your past life of how you got the scar. And I always want to know at least one or two answers before I answer questions. I want to know their motive behind why they're asking me about my scars. And then I want to know, how is it going to help their life? And so I'm just telling you that when you evaluate the situation, sometimes you'll find out it's not even worth your time to even answer it, because the motive behind the question is not even correct or in line. They're just trying to make you relive the days of your scars. And that's not for you to do. You don't owe that to him. You owe it to God to go forward and to testify, to give that grace and that joy and that honor to God, that you have the scar, but you're not the scar. You're not reliving that again. And so again, whether you've been molested, because we're dealing with a lot of children now that have been molested. And I want to tell you, don't let that abuser hold you back. Don't let that abuser take any more power from you. I'm telling you to go forward. You're a beautiful king. You're a handsome king. You're a beautiful princess or queen. And I'm just telling you, don't let them hold you back. There's someone out there that have been in domestic violence. And the sad thing about it is, it's not all women that have been in domestic violence. You do have some men that have been in domestic violence that are scarred just as much. But I want to tell you something that my wife tells me now, because in her past relationship, she's been abused. And I always say, when I refer to her, I always say, sweetheart, yes, you were a domestic violence victim. You are a domestic violence victim. And she says, no, sweetheart, no, I'm not. She said, I'm a survivor. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. And I said, wow, that blew my mind, because she told me, no, I have your love and your comfort. And most of all, I have God. God rescued me. So I'm a survivor. And she corrects everyone now that has been through that situation and tell them, no, you're living. You are a survivor. So I'm telling you today that you are a survivor. You don't have to hide out from your scars. You're much more stronger than you believe you are. Don't let people hold you under subjection. You're strong. Don't hide out from your scars. This has been your ambassador, your pastor's pastor, the Reverend Dr. Aqeel Ash-Shakoor, just here to encourage, exhort, and uplift you. Look out for the book, No More Chains, the Rule 222 principle. Let's break these chains and yokes. God bless. I love you all, and we'll see you on the next one.